Well, UCLA has a tremendous basketball tradition. They just hired a new coach who's been successful. I don't know Steve very well as personally. I certainly respect him, and I respect what they've done there. I'm focused on USC and what we're going to do. I'm focused on the future of USC basketball and no one else. Thank you.
How surprised were you when USC came to you, and how much credit do you give March Madness to being the head coach here now?
Well, they always say the tournament is a place to make a name for yourself, and our school certainly did. I think they did a study when some of the other mid-majors went to deep in the tournament. It was $500 million, $700 million worth of advertising. So my first reaction was, look what we did for the school at Florida Gulf Coast University and the surrounding community of Southwest Florida, because that's what it's all about. When you're a head coach, the second thing, when Amanda and I, we received so much national media attention because of our team success, but also our personal backgrounds. And she said, and I said many times, it's not about us as people or coach or the wife. It's about our team and our university. Sure, we all made names for ourselves. The university, the Southwest Florida community, and myself in the coaching industry. But I've been doing this a long time. I know a lot of people, but to get a job like USC, you have to do something. You have to prove that you're a winner, and you have to prove that you've done something. And I think we did that, and that's why I'm so excited to be here. Yes, my intention is to hire the best staff, most well-rounded staff as possible. We are a national university here. We need to be able to recruit locally, and Southern California has great players. They always have. This area is just a hotbed for basketball. So we need to have a huge presence and develop relationships within Southern California. However, USC is a national and worldwide known university with great academics, great tradition. So my plan is to be able to go into any home in the United States and tell them what we have, and hopefully my staff will be able to do that. I plan on having a Southern California presence on my coaching staff, someone that knows the area, has been here, or worked with people in the area, and just make decisions here in the next week, 10 days, to make sure we have the staff that I'm comfortable with and can do that.
If you had a chance to talk to the returning players at all, and how important is that for you when you look at the way things set up for this year?
We just met the players this morning, just flew in late last night. I look forward to meeting them individually. I think it's important that we develop relationships. We'll get on the court for workouts next week. I'm leaving for the Final Four, and I know I need to hire a coaching staff as well, talk to some people, come back, meet with all the players, probably Monday and Tuesday, get them on the court, and we'll start from there. I watched a little bit of film on our team, very impressed with what I saw. I think there's a lot of potential, and the thing that impressed me the most was the development. With our player development program, what we do, I'm just projecting where these guys are going to be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months from now, and I'm very, very excited for it.
Coach, a lot of the players that you're going to have are older, experienced, senior-type guys. You talked about, in your first speech, about how Florida Gulf Coast was a 2-year process for you. A lot of those guys, what we saw in the tournament was a 2-year process. How far do you think you can take the upperclassmen that are coming back next year, 80 years worth of time?
Well, at FGCU, if we didn't have the upperclassmen, we never would have achieved what we did. Sherwood Brown had an okay sophomore year. He was a walk-on originally. This year, with our player development program we have, in the last year and a half, 2 years, he was player of the year in the league, averaged 17, 18 points in the NCAA tournament in 3 games. He just made Associated Press honorable mention All-American, and will be in the three-point contest in Atlanta this week. That's what I'm talking about, player development. Okay, Bernard Thompson came out of high school as a streaky shooter, had a lot of efficiencies in his game, He scored 23 points against Georgetown and San Diego State and is third in the nation in steals. That's what I'm talking about, player development. So this is all about the upperclassmen right now. Our existing roster has to win games for us next year. And I know we'll bring some freshmen in, but our existing roster has to improve, and they're the guys that we're going to rely on. And that's why it's so important that we develop that culture, and that comes over time, because the returnees are the cornerstone of your program. And sure, you have to bring in talent for the future, and maybe you bring in some freshmen or talent to play, but these guys that I just met with this morning are what I'm focused on, and I can't wait to get started.
Could you do kind of a little specific rundown of what exactly the player development program is? How do you do that?
Well, I know this is in the media, so I'm going to refrain from giving all the secrets away, but it's just something I've developed over many years. I started in the NBA as an assistant coach. I was a shooting coach, an assistant coach, a player development coach. My personal belief is players don't come in ready to affect the game at the highest level right out of high school. Now, can they contribute and play a lot of minutes? Of course. But there's a big difference between an 18-year-old and a 20-year-old and a 22-year-old with their body maturity and their skill development if it's done the right way. And I adjust shooting techniques. If you're a streaky shooter, there's a reason. I have two instructional shooting videos in the market. I did the first one with Glenn Rice of Charlotte Hornets. Did the second one by myself with some high school players, how to adjust shooting techniques. So shooting's a big part of it. But the ball handling, the finishing, the passing, we throw a lot of lob passes at FGCU. Well, I learned that in the NBA. It's hard to throw a pass to a big guy right here in the chest because they got to move their hands fast. If it's a hard pass, they can't catch and they can't finish. You got to throw it up or down. And we work on that. You drill that. My first year at FGCU, we were throwing lob passes in the 8th row of the stands. This year, we're throwing it 2 inches from the rim and they're dunking it with guys in their face. So it's just a progress of what we feel necessary in our system. Our system is so fast-paced and up-tempo and exciting to play, and that's why I think players in this area are going to be thrilled to come play in this. But if you want to play fast, you got to practice fast, and you have to drill each aspect of it. So when you're in transition or in a half court and you're going full speed getting by your guy, and now it's time to step around a big guy and finish with your left hand, you better be able to do it, or shoot a floater over a 7-footer. So there's a lot of things that we go into it. I'm just giving you a few examples, but it's very specific, and all guys want to be professional basketball players. Education's important, yes. We're going to get their degrees. But on the court, they want to be pros. And that has been my goal ever since I was a college coach. What are you going to do to make them a pro? All they got to do is come with a work ethic, and they'll be a pro.
One last question.
Coach, welcome. We're absolutely thrilled to have you. One of the things we've been really proud of at USC is the fact that we've got great athletes who are also great students and are going great places in their future in addition to their athletic career. And one of the things I'm really excited about seeing you as a Trojan is this great academic background you have as well. How do you kind of deal with that with players in terms of development, both as students and as athletes?
Well, as Pat said, I'm a son of 2 school teachers. I chose my college based on academics. I could have played a lot of places. I chose Johns Hopkins University because it was in the city of Baltimore, and I wanted to get a great education and play college basketball. Went back to get my MBA in finance, University of Maryland, and I had a great appreciation of the value of education, what it can do for you in the real world and throughout your life. I didn't necessarily understand it as much when I was doing it, but when I was done with it and look back, it's amazing. And the intriguing thing about USC is it's one of the top academic institutions in the world. The alumni base here is astounding. Just the USC alumni have been so successful, and a lot of them still live in this area. And it's important for my basketball players to engage not only the student body, but from an educational standpoint, the alumni. I bring speakers into my basketball program. I encourage our players. We set up anywhere from 10 to 15 meetings outside within the community, different specific businesses. If they want to be in communications, we'll give them 8 meetings or not interviews, but to find out more about their field. If they want to go into finance, they want to go into to be a teacher. So I think it's important that they get a well-rounded college experience. I don't mess around with education. I know what it did for me. I know what it's done for a lot of people. Our kids are going to go to class. We'll give them all the support they need. And when I was a student athlete and I had an 8 a.m. class, I just talked to my FGCU team about this a few weeks ago. Do you really think I wanted to go to class at 8 a.m.? Do you think I really enjoyed sitting there for an hour and a half until 9:30? No. But you do it because you're committed to success. You're committed to being a student athlete. And we have tutors, we have study hall, we have great academic support here. And I spend a lot of time personally with our players about the value of education, about the value of engaging the student body and the community. And we try to bring the community to us, and we try to go to the community. And that's all part of that real-world educational experience where when they leave here and they're done playing professional basketball, they can come back and be the next USC alumni that's successful living here in Los Angeles.
Now?
Thank you.
We're going to do some quick pictures here.